SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, in today's video, we discuss CBRS and AT&T's proposal to completely change everything in CBRS. All right, a link for the article from Dano. This one's from, I think this was last month. And there's some developments here, some new stuff I want to discuss in today's video, but I'll link that article in the description. You can find ways to support us there as well. Please do like and share this video. Subscribe if you're new here, and turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload from the SMT. All right, folks, I think what we have to do first is acknowledge the basic fundamental idea of what AT&T is trying to achieve. AT&T is trying to get access to more 3 gigahertz mid-band licenses, more capacity for their network. And I'm okay with them campaigning to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, every carrier wants to be able to build more capacity on their network, monetize that capacity for, home broadband or their wireless mobile network users. I get it. The Verizon, T-Mobile, they're all doing the same thing. They're fighting for the ability to build better networks. The thing for AT&T and this proposal that they've, brought forward to the FCC is they want to dramatically change everything in the 3 gigahertz range. And what they want to do is they want to take the CBRS unlicensed frequencies, which sit kind of like in the middle of 3 gigahertz at like 3.5. They want to move it down to 3.1 to 3.3. There's spectrum there currently that is likely to be auctioned at some point in the near future. But what they're trying to do, and I like the idea. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with the idea, to move CBRS down to 3.1 and then free up the entire 3 gigahertz in the middle and the back end so that it's the whole like DoD C-band, and then what currently is the 3.1 to 3.3, whatever they end up calling it. You create these contiguous swaths of spectrum. It would fix the very power, strange rules of 3 gigahertz, right? So C-band at the top and then CBRS in the middle. It would fix a lot of it. It makes it all contiguous, get more spectral efficiency, and then it allows power levels to be turned up. That's really the problem, if there is one, for CBRS, right? Because of interference, because of the way the unlicensed nature and the spectrum sharing rules and all that stuff really kind of screws things up. And that's what AT&T would like to see change. So I have this plan, and they presented it to the FCC, and the FCC has accepted comment on it. But the problem with this, guys, is there are folks that are currently using CBRS as it is, right? You have Verizon, which has built it in like a lot of their markets to large scale. So they have radio gear up there. You have fixed wireless access providers, WISPA, who have built this to provide fixed wireless access. And they've invested heavy sums of money in infrastructure. All that would have to change because a lot of that gear is probably made specifically for the 3.5 frequency. So there really is a technical issue, which is why I say the AT&T idea is not bad. It would be good to see them fix what the FCC did with 3 gigahertz. The technical issue is you've got companies that have been building these frequencies as is. And who's going to compensate them for a change? They're going to have to rip out old gear and put in new gear. The framework of the rules for the CBRS frequencies, this would be very, very messy. And I don't think AT&T would want to pay for it, for them to install new radio gear to compensate them for the changes, like upending and, modifying all the rules and the frequencies. It would make it really messy. So AT&T spearheading this, trying to change the rules. Again, this is obviously on the FCC. The reason why the 3 gigahertz is the way it is because of the FCC. But the companies play the game with the rules that were made, like Verizon, like WISPA, like Comcast and Charter, having those frequencies. And don't forget Dish and EchoStar. I think what's probably going to end up happening, guys, it is much more likely that the FCC is going to permit and allow higher power to the frequency in CBRS. Not much more, a little bit more, and that should help the propagation. That should help the reach and the range of the CBRS frequency. But I don't think this is going to work. I don't think the FCC wants to finance it. I don't think AT&T wants to finance it. And just changing everything. Again, these are technical issues that are just really messy. FCC, just look at AT&T. Do they want to pay for anything? Let's be honest here. They've been penny pinching through all these auctions from C-band to DoD. They didn't even buy CBRS spectrum. That was Verizon, right? And they're trying to find ways to build their network the cheapest with the whole Ericsson swap. They're probably not in the business of wanting to pay all those fixed wireless access providers and Verizon and all these other companies who already started building CBRS. And to be honest with you guys, they don't deserve any accommodations, in my opinion. They're going to get 4.9, for the FirstNet contract. They got band 14. They even got, AWS spectrum in Hawaii from T-Mobile by complaining. And for what it's worth, have they even properly built out their 5G plus network to adequate levels compared to their competition? I'd argue no. So I don't think the FCC owes them anything. I don't think anybody owes them anything. I think the rules for CBRS, while it may not be ideal, the rules are what they are, and you play the game with the rules that are made. And I don't think they've done enough for themselves to warrant somebody else doing more for them. So in my opinion, if you're going to reband 3 gigahertz, the goal should be to fix 3 gigahertz. The FCC really messed that up. But it really shouldn't be done to accommodate the needs, the wants, the preferences of AT&T. Unfortunately, I don't think they have enough positive equity within the industry to demand such changes. While it would help the industry to fix 3 gigahertz, we're too far along in this CBRS experiment to just go ahead and tell everybody things are changing. And if they were going to allow it and they were going to change it, I think AT&T is going to have to finance it, at least be part of it, because there's just too much into it already. I could be wrong. What do you guys think is the most likely outcome? I think power levels getting turned up makes more sense. They got to be careful with that. There's also interference risk. It's just the way that things are with that frequency. But what's your take on it? Sound off in the comment section below. The voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.